What's up, guys? My name's Tam, and you're tuned in to a very live Tam Talks. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, happy Monday. I hope your day is going well. I'm going to start by saying if you're having a crappy Monday, please don't rub your crappy off on anybody else. And if you're having a great Monday, make sure it's an infectious, great Monday. I wanted to talk about something really quick. I'm not going to keep you guys long, but I did want to just talk about something that I've been in talks with like friends and family here as of late in terms of relationships, toxicity within, I'll just say within humans, period. But I'm going to more so speak to the Black community because I can speak about my community. I can speak from a place of where I am. So I want to talk about toxicity and versus healthy relationships. And I'm going to actually just kind of talk about vaguely a scenario I had with a very dear friend here. And this conversation happened a while ago, but it was basically a friend feeling as if um, another person was not a supportive friend, right? Not a supportive friend. This person, starting their own business, and within our community, when you start your own business, when you step out on anything outside of a 9 to 5, it's kind of far and in between that one person shows support for another person, especially within the Black community. I think oftentimes, rather than Blacks really showing people that they care about their others' hopes and dreams, they're often either jealous, or B, they just simply don't care, but or C, they're trying to compete with you, that type of thing. There's not enough genuine people. Not to say there aren't any genuine people out there. I'm just gonna say there's not enough. So we can all do a better job at just making sure that we support those friends and family members that we have in our lives that are, stepping out outside of their 9 to 5. They're starting entrepreneurship. They're, investing. They're doing whatever it takes to get outside of this freaking rat race. If you guys are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, and just making sure that they're off the beaten path to change the course of generational wealth. Now, back to the story. Now, it's two people. They were cool. I would say on the outside looking in that they were friends. However, one particular individual was just never really the type of person that supported the other person. So when they would post on social media, post on Instagram or Facebook about, their business, the other person wouldn't share. The other person wouldn't like, the other person wouldn't comment or do any of those types of things. And you're like, Tam, I mean, it's social media, it's not a big thing. But if anybody out there, if you're watching this and you have a business, you understand how important marketing and social media really is, especially now, in this day and age, and especially during quarantine, where most people are behind a computer screen, they're behind or they're in front of their cell phones. So you can understand those types of things are truly important. Now, this person wasn't doing any of that. Now, when they would post like photos of random stuff, they would like and they would comment, but the moment it transitioned to business, this person wouldn't share, wouldn't like, wouldn't comment on any of those things. Now, person the person who has the business was like, yo, what's up? Why isn't my friend or somebody who I would consider to be cool with, not sharing that? And I too have been in that situation where I felt like people that are close to me haven't really supported, me on a level of my entrepreneurship. And I'm pretty sure many of you guys have probably felt the same when you stepped out, on faith, or just stepped out in general to start something anew. Many of you are YouTubers, sometimes you need to get word of mouth. Sometimes you want your family and friends to share your channel, or you want them to watch your channel so you guys can get your watch hours up, and and get your subscriptions up. Now, the person who confronted the other person was like, yo, I thought we were cool. Why aren't you, sharing my stuff? Why aren't you sharing my business? And the other person was like, oh, well, I don't really do that kind of a thing. Now, this person felt like they were not being genuine with that response because they would go to their social media and they would see them share everybody else's entrepreneurship dreams and hopes and everything else. But when it came to this particular person, they weren't supporting them. So why is that? And I'm going to go a little bit deeper because this same individual was somebody who got close to the person. So they used them for their resources. So they didn't share any of their posts, they didn't share any of their entrepreneurship dreams, but they got close to this other person because of the who's who and the what's they knew. So they were just trying to basically use them for relationship building. Oh, you know, celebrities. Well, let me get close enough to you so I can, get close enough to the celebrities that you know, but I don't necessarily have a need for you. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that sometimes we can be so caught up and so hung up with ourselves that we lose sight of our friendships. And oftentimes, many times, we are using people. We're using people that are close to us or who they consider, who we consider close to them. We're using them for the resources that they have and not really genuine relationships. And we get to the point where if we don't like something they do or they say, that we often throw them away. And I think that's the greatest disruption and distraction that we have, to think that we could do life alone, because we simply cannot. So it's really important as you are stepping out, building your business, building your brand, or just being whoever you are in your 9 to 5, just being the great individual that you are as a man or as a woman or whatever the case may be, that you just really take into account the connections that you have in your life, because everybody wants to be celebrated. Everybody wants to be cared for. Everybody wants to be loved. And, when you get to a place where you're using individuals, it's toxic. If you have somebody that cares for you, cares about you, or considers you to be their homie, their lover, and or their friend, you need to be able to support them in a way where it feels like support, not the support that you necessarily feel like you should do, because you can often care for somebody, you can often love somebody, and that person can never, feel loved by you. That's really important to understand people's love languages. That doesn't just matter if you're like, it's your spouse or whatever the case may be. It applies to friendships, because if you have a friend who could care less about you giving them gifts and that's all you do, but they really just want to see your face, they just really want to have quality time with you, and they consider quality time as love and that you care about them, and you're just being like, oh, I sent you a gift. Ain't got no time for you. I just sent you a gift. They'll never feel like you care for them. Or if you have a friend that just appreciates you saying, you know what, you're doing great, giving you those words of affirmation. Man, you're doing awesome. Keep moving, keep the train going in the right direction. If you never are that friend that really encourages those around you, but you're on social media encouraging celebrities and strangers all day, like there's a problem with that. Sometimes we just need to look inwardly. Hey guys. Sometimes we need to look inwardly and just realize how sometimes the things that we do are detrimental to the relationships that we have. Okay. And it's really important for us to understand that relationships are paramount, because the same people that you are passing on the way up could be passing you on the way down. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not always going to be at that level of where you are. I pray that you're always elevating. We always pray that. But life happens. Life happens to all of us. So we just got to make sure that we're nurturing our relationships, and not so easily of being a generation that will throw relationships away, not be a generation who is comfortable saying my cutoff game is strong. Let's be a generation that says, I know how to effectively communicate. My communication style and understanding is strong. I know how to be understood, and I know how to understand others. Let's be that kind of a generation. Let's be a healthier generation who understands that you aren't necessarily a prize. I I'm not the prize, but together, if we can understand one another, wow, together, it's immeasurable. It's priceless. So let's just get to just get to a better place, a healthier, dynamic, healthier relationships with the people that we have in our lives. And let's not be so quick to throw folks away. We're living in a time, I remember back in the day, like people used to have a whole bunch of friends, right? We used to have a whole bunch of friends, but it's like we've embraced just throwing people away. And we do this not just in friendships, we do it in relationships because we're always seeking out perfection rather than dealing with the issues that we have with people on an individual basis. And, it's just not, it's an unrealistic expectation to have for others. And it's an unrealistic expectation because you, me, no, like nobody is perfect. So you're going to have conflict, and you just have to view that conflict, like turn the switch in your brain on mentally to tell you that conflict is actually perfecting you. Conflict is actually perfecting your relationships. And through that, you'll have a core group of people that understand you, they understand your boundaries, they understand how to love you, how to care for you, and you in turn will be able to do the same. So let's just take a little bit more, better care of each other. I really just wanted to, just to say that because especially more now than ever, people are often feeling alone, feeling like nobody understands them. They feel like they're going through life alone. They're building their businesses alone. They're doing things alone, and nobody wants to feel alone. As much as people say they alone time and their quiet time, like I'm an introverted extrovert, so I get it. It makes a lot of sense, but you can't do life alone and be successful and fully be happy because everybody wants somebody to share their success with. Everybody wants to be able to pick up the phone and call and tell somebody about good news with. Like, you don't want a whole bunch of, crabs in a barrel folks around you. I understand that. But the relationships that you have that are good relationships, be sure to build that foundation. Be sure to understand that everything is not always going to be perfect and that communication is key as far as breaking down those barriers. That way, you have core people in your life that are willing to push you, correct you, and support you in the way that you need. And you, in turn, are able to do the same. So just be mindful of that. Check yourself. People come to you and tell you they got a new house, a new car, a new job, a new this. They're starting a business. Be able to correct yourself and don't say, "Ooh, you always doing something." Like, don't be that negative person. Support them, even if the last time they started something and stopped. Like, don't be that person that puts a seed of doubt in their mind that they can't today decide that they're going to be better than they were yesterday. Be the person that's going to fully support them, because you don't want somebody, because you can change your mind and your career and your path today as well. And you don't want those negative Nancy's in your life telling you always doing something. Like, just be the supportive friend. So I just wanted to take some time and say that I told you guys I wasn't going to be here long. Sorry, 13 minutes. But thank you guys so much for rocking with me. This has been a very, very live Tam Talks. I hope you guys have a very happy continuation of Monday. And again, if you're having a happy Monday, make sure it's infectious. Make sure you be able to spread that to somebody else. Until next time, I'm out, guys. Bye.